Right. No, that makes perfect sense, man. And I always think about the YouTube guys making the beats and stuff like that. Like they figured out a way to expand. Like they're probably still working in general with normal artists like they normally do, right? Saying
Right,
I'm trying to
right.
produce for this person and making their
Yeah,
money here. But there's like, the world is globalized now. I could be selling beats to somebody in Ukraine and
yeah,
nobody would never know about it. But every time they buy my beat, that's $50, that's $80, depending on the license in it, or if they buying the full rights to the song, if they getting all the
right.
stems, or if they only getting the full instrumental, or
That's
if
right.
like whatever the level is that they paying. But I'm like, like you said, right? They're already making beats. They could be creating 80, 100 beats for the year, and hey, if they have 100 people pay for a beat each, that's money they making extra outside of what else they're already doing. You
And if
know,
and if and if they're leasing that track, that same track can go to
can say
500
multiple
different people.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true,
So
Yeah.
that's what you call digital real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
on
like that. Digital real estate. Okay.
yeah, that's how we're like terming it, because it's just like a physical property. And in like an apartment, you have
Mm,
several tenants over the course of maybe 10 years, or you might have that one tenant. But if you keep somebody in there, that's a recurring expense. Or like, let's say you have a famous producer who may sell an exclusive track for 50,000, which
mm,
does happen for one track. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying?
Right.
That or 20,000, or let's say even 10,000,
Right.
um, for one track, for you to sell it to that particular artist outright. But let's say you lease a track for $50 a track, but let's
Mhm,
say 300 people lease that same track. You know
mhm,
what I'm saying? You you're still in a position like the track still belongs to you, and you haven't sold it exclusively.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? It still belongs to you. You know what
mm.
I'm saying? And you're making well, based on each sale, you know what I'm saying, or each transaction, that based on that particular track lease. So yeah,
Now,
man.
let me ask you a question. So when you talking about like the publishing, for example, when songs are played on, because I know you talk about every time the commercial is played on the radio, right? This person who produced this music for this, they could get some revenue from each play. You know what I'm saying? When that
Yeah.
commercial is played. So is that the same way that it works if, say, you produced a song for an artist and it's played, or if the song is if they so I guess I'm trying to understand how that residual part of
It,
it works, and
yeah.
when is it residual, when is it not? Like if they played a song for the Super Bowl and I produced the song, but they were doing it live, do I
Right.
still get paid for them playing it at that time, or versus if they just played the song at the Super Bowl,
So
for
there
example?
there are different ways that you can get paid with through music that is played publicly. It is through a license that each venue there it's usually standard that, like, let's say a club,
Mm,
or the Super Bowl, like there's something that's called mechanical royalties. But
okay.
each organization have to pay a fee for a blanket license. So
Mm,
what happens is, they, like, whatever music they play, the funds are distributed through that blanket license, to be like, a portion of that is distributed to the artists of the music that they play, or the creators of the music that they play. The artist or the musician has to enroll with an organization called a performance rights organization. When you sign up with that organization, that PRO, they locate the funds of where your music is being played, because
mm,
you upload your music with that platform, and they track it. They will track your music of who's playing your music,
mm,
and that's it. It's synced up that way, so that you know who's playing it, they know who's playing it, and they're gathering the money. They take a small percentage of what. That's how they get paid. So they're going to seek out who's playing your stuff, and if they track it and they find it, then you get a quarterly payment for that particular song or whatever being paid. The same thing with movies and commercials. They when you're signing up or doing the paperwork, and there are different arrangements. Sometimes there are exclusive payouts, or there's like like an initial payment on top of royalties. So there are different agreements, but
Gotcha.
that organization is affiliated with or in contact with the PRO, or the Performance Rights Organization, and that's where the funds get funneled through
Hmm.
to the artist. Yeah.
Hmm. That's
Yes.
very interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so those are the people who be all on my YouTube talking about you can't make no money from this video because they got a copyright claim on it. Those dumb people.
So everything that you just said. So if you're using somebody's music, let's say you're using a Jay-Z track or something like that,
Uh-huh.
they'll run an ad on your video, but
Okay.
you're not gonna get the money. They're getting the money.
They
Yeah.
so because because I'm using this artist specific song on this video, so when they run an ad, whatever ad revenue would come in because of the video, since the song was on there, they're gonna give the ad revenue to the PRO, which is then gonna pass it down to the artist.
Yes.
Wow. Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.